So if you could pick one player in the NFL that the New York Jets should trade for this offseason, who would it be and why? So I'm not going to go the trade route because the player that I have in mind is not really a guy who they would have to trade for. It's a guy they could sign outright.
Wow, great.
And the guy who I think fits that is a member of the very hated New England Patriots.
Ooh.
His name is Ted Carris.
Who?
Ted Carris is one of the most underrated offensive linemen in the National Football League, partly because of his versatility is extremely underrated. He can play center or either guard spot, and he can play it at a very high level. He's done so. If you're looking at the fact, like last year, Michael Onwenu was one of the top rated offensive linemen, period, in the league, let alone just as a rookie performer. Guess what? Michael Onwenu is now the 6th offensive lineman, doesn't start anymore. And one of the biggest reasons why is because the Patriots brought Ted Carris back after spending a year with the Miami Dolphins. And he has played at a level for the Patriots that has pushed Onwenu to the bench. So now the Patriots are going with Trent Brown when he's healthy, Isaiah Wynn, Shaq Mason, Ted Carris, and David Andrews. Ted Carris, when people are injured, can switch over to the center. And you know why I think this is a very valuable potential get for the Jets is because they need a veteran offensive lineman, especially at the center position, who can take some pressure off of their young quarterback. Somebody who can help him call out different things that they see on defense. So he takes some of that pressure off of him mentally and allow him to kind of just focus on the game. A veteran who is going to come relatively cheap, like Ted Carris, who's been around, played against the Jets. He's seen the Jets twice a year over the last 4 years, 3 or 4 years, because when he wasn't with the Patriots, he was with the Dolphins. I think Ted Carris would be an under the radar, but highly, highly effective acquisition for the Jets. I think it's something that they should definitely look into. Ted Carris is on a 1-year deal with the Patriots because you know how Belichick does. He doesn't really like to sign people to multi-year deals. There you go. That's my guy.
Brian, I'm going to be candid. When I read this question, I'm going to be honest, did not have Ted Carris on the old bingo card. But you know what? I respect it.
Yes, Ted Carris is the real deal. He really is the real deal. All right. So, Lorenzo, who do you got?
I'm going to piggyback off of what you said, Brian. I don't think it's a trade, but it's somebody who's going to hit the free agent market, and he's somebody from New Jersey. He's an East Coast guy, and he does have a lot of value on the Rams, but again, he's in a contract year. That's Sebastian Joseph Day. I think he can bolster the Jets' defensive line. I mean, hey, Paul. Let me explain. Calm down. All right?
Went New Day on you.
Calm down. Sebastian Joseph Day, aka Bash. He's actually the guy before he got injured. He was the guy freeing up Aaron Donald, freeing up the linebackers, Leonard Floyd, also Kenny Young before he got traded. And also he was supposed to be the guy to free up Von Miller. You know, he does the dirty work for the Rams. I know he's not a household name, but, you know, Robert Saleh being a defensive guy, Sebastian Joseph Day with his ability to take on double teams, plug the lanes, all that, I think he could be an ideal fit for the Jets. Come at me, Paul.
Ted Carris, Sebastian Joseph, who? What?
Sebastian Joseph Day.
People.
And he's a Rutgers guy.
I was looking for something sexy. I don't know.
He has an Old Spice commercial. Yeah, Paul. He has an Old Spice commercial. Maybe that's not sexy.
I don't know who. I was Tyreek Hill, maybe Travis Kelce.
I wasn't going to tell you all that background. I wasn't going to tell you that.
Sebastian Joseph Day has 3 sacks this season. He is, he's played in 7 games, started 7 games. He hasn't played though since week 8. But he is a big physical interior defensive lineman. He definitely would be what you would call like one of those cheap gets. My question is this though. I feel like the Jets, well, obviously they have some holes on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. Right now, if I have to ask myself this question, mm-hmm. for almost every single franchise there is right now, right? Mm-hmm. There's a guy on every single franchise, and most of the time it's the quarterback, but there's a guy in every single franchise. You have to ask yourself this question: Who is the guy who their success is the most important to the overall success of the franchise? Mm. If I ask myself that question about the Jets, without a question, is Zach Wilson. Mm-hmm. So I want Mekhi Becton healthy, mm-hmm. and I want nasty people in front of him. I want 5 nasty people in front of him. Yeah, and I don't know. I feel
that way about Salah. He's a defensive guy. He wants nasty people up front first. And then everybody else. The thing of it is if you don't got enough nasty people protecting little boy Wonder, it ain't gonna work out.
True. Yes.
It ain't gonna work out. So I don't know. We'll see. But Mr. Sanudo, who do you have?
All right. So we all know the Jets need a lot. Yeah. Don't even have to go more into that. I'm a Jets fan myself. I haven't been really saying that because I'm a Cardinals writer, but I can attest to most, if not all, of Paul's, all the time being not negative, but just knowing that something bad is going to happen on Sunday. I've seen it. But I would say with the Jets, even though it's not really up top in terms of needs, I would say the Jets probably should go defense, during the draft. They have 2 first rounders. They have 2 second rounders. Mm-hmm. But this position, this helps your quarterback. And I'm going with DJ Moore, wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. Ooh. This is the sexy option for Paul. This isn't, I love both of your picks. I love Lorenzo's too. I'm a Cardinals writer. I knew who you were talking about, mm-hmm. but
I'm glad someone did.
What's up?
I said, I'm glad somebody did.
There you go. There you go.
Good event, Ryan. NFC West, guys.
DJ Moore gets so many targets every week, even with Sam Darnold. He was looking really good with Sam Darnold the first couple weeks, and then once Darnold, went into despair, he went into despair as well.
He caught one of the only 6 passes that Cam completed this Sunday, the touchdown.
I knew because of my fantasy team. So thank you, DJ.
Yeah, the guy is so shifty. Drafted in 2018. I would definitely go after him. I don't think the Panthers would necessarily do it in a heartbeat. I know they wouldn't do it, but what if the Panthers, they lose Joe Brady in the offseason? He goes somewhere else.
The Bears.
And the Panthers are in a little bit of, we don't even know who they are right now. We don't know their quarterback for the future. We don't know they have Terrence Marshall at wide receiver and Robbie Anderson, but you think maybe we need draft capital. We lost the second rounder to the Jets with that Sam Darnold deal. I think they would entertain it. I don't think they would just completely hang up on the Jets when it comes to DJ Moore, but I think it leans towards, with the Jets getting a guy next to Corey Davis and Elijah Moore, because Corey Davis, I liked him coming into this, free agency. He's not a number 1 wide receiver. We all know that. And Elijah Moore can be. I think he can, and he's looked the part the last couple of weeks, but he's still a rookie. He's going to be entering his second year. What if you had Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, and DJ Moore on the same team? That's a high-powered offense. And you know what? You can get offensive linemen in the draft. You can get an edge rusher in the draft. But in terms of trading for a wide receiver or a playmaker, that's what I would do.
Ryan, thanks for the sex appeal after, Joe Blow and Ryan Job Knight or whoever. Thank you for some sex appeal. Phenomenal.
Another guy I will say, I won't take too long, but I'm going to say TJ Hawkinson too from Detroit. I think that's the guy I would look at.
No, I like that one. I definitely like that one because
sorry.
No, I was going to say I definitely like that, and I definitely did think about a tight end. Because a young quarterback, the best thing that they can have is a solid offensive line, which would generate a good running game. But the next best thing they can have is a tight end they can use as an escape route.
The Jets never have a tight end. Throughout my lifetime, it was Dustin Keller. I can't even think of anyone else. Everyone's been a disaster.
Dustin Keller was the best tight end, probably definitely in your lifetime that they've ever had.
That's true. Hey, by the way, so you brought up Hawkinson. Just curious, what do you think it would take? The Lions are blowing this thing up. You know what? Again, they're a disaster. They haven't even won a game. They tied a game. That doesn't even count. Like, what would it take?
Man, I would say probably they're going to ask for first-round pick at first, but I think the Jets
for Hawkinson.
No, I'm saying in terms of the Lions' mindset, what they're going to do at first, they're going to ask for a first-round pick.
They're inebriated if they think that they're going to get.
And it's not going to happen. I know that it's not going to happen. But a second-round pick for T.J. Hawkinson,
I don't even think they get a second-round pick for T.J. Hawkinson. Wow. T.J. Hawkinson is a solid player, but he's a tight end, and he's not I wouldn't call him an elite tight end. I don't know. He is only 24 though.
Yeah, and I think they're selling pennies on the dollar for Hawkinson right now. So I don't think they're going to trade him. But for Hawkinson, he's still a good player. You give him targets and an offense that actually caters to Hawkinson, LaFleur and Hawkinson together. I mean, who knows?
Would you trade a second-round pick for a guy who hasn't even sniffed 1,000-yard receiving season?
I didn't say first. I'm saying what the Lions are going to have for.
No, I'm saying I just don't even know. I mean, they could say that, but I just don't even know that that's even.
I would say third-round pick, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking third or fourth-round pick for Hawkinson, which is honestly, I really feel like would be a really solid get for the Lions. Or honestly, if I'm the Lions, I hold on to Hawkinson because he's only 24. He's young enough to be around if they ever. Which I kind of know that'll never happen, but if they ever get good, so I personally wouldn't let TJ Hawkinson go, and he's probably not making very much money right now. I'd have to check his salary situation, but I can't imagine he's raking in the dough right now.
We can't really laugh at these picks being traded. I mean, it's only his third year for Hawkinson. I mean, CJ Henderson got traded in his second year, so anything can happen. Yeah. So anything.
Yeah, I mean, he has made a Pro Bowl, and so I don't know. That just seems like if they get a second-round pick for some TJ freaking Hawkinson, it's going to be pretty freaking amazing if they get that. But yeah, he's actually, and he doesn't make a great deal of money at all right now. Like his guarantee. His base salary for this season is $850,000 at a $3.1 million signing bonus. He has a $1.6 million roster bonus. He does have a cap hit of $11.7 million for this season. It drops down to $6.3 million next year, and then he goes into there's a club option for 2023, which barring some sort of major injury, you got to believe they're picking that up, and then he'll be an unrestricted free agent in 2024. And he'll probably get seriously paid unless he starts to get injured or something. But yeah, we'll see. It's interesting. So what do you got, Paul, on that one?
Again, I've been inspired by you, Brian and Lorenzo. I thought I was going to go sexy. I thought I was going to sell out to the man and give them exactly what they're looking for. But you know what? You're right. We are a show of the people. You know what? Screw Mahomes, screw Kelsey. Why don't we bring it to a level where I'm going to get you guys to impersonate owls going, who's happening here? Give me, and I like the cut of your jib, Mr. Sanudo. I'm going to go with the Lions. Give me Ifitu Melifonwu.
Oh, I know.
No, I like him.
I
know. No, I do.
I like him. I was going to put some hoops out in the crowd.
I like him. No, I do.
I like that. Understandable.
I like him a lot.
My second life here in Syracuse is, of course, covering the Syracuse football squad, and he's a lanky 6'3", and the genes are there. Of course, his brother Obi played in the league, won a Super Bowl, the New England Patriots with him the last couple of years, bounced around the league. His brother was a freak of nature. Ifitu is as well, coming out of Syracuse. He is a rookie right now. So I wanted the Jets to draft Ifitu in the draft, and they passed on that opportunity. He's been a little banged up this year for Detroit, but he's the kind of guy that's not going to cost a lot. I don't think Joe Douglas is that kind of guy anyway that'd be willing to shell, or he hasn't proven to be so far, to shell multiple assets to go get a guy. So again, you know what? Brian going with, again, the hoopla blay, and again, Mr. is something Josh Jacob Knight or whoever from the Rams.
Sebastian Joseph Dave, my man. You got to Google him.
Night, afternoon, fortnight.
Just call him Bash. Google him.
The point is that you guys wanted me to go a little under the radar, and that's what Melifonwu is. I don't think the greater NFL knows how athletic and the potential of said player, but I hope the Lions don't, so the Jets can get him for pennies on the dollar, because I think he's a freak.